Alright, you guys, what's going on? Alright, got a little ways to go before I get to the house, so I thought I'd do a live stream. Talk some boxing and shit. Talk about some upcoming events, talk about a couple of live streams I saw within the past couple of days, because I got to get this out there. So, just needed to talk about that. So I'll post, like I said, be going to Vegas on some business, to handle some business. And then I'm gonna see, can I link up with Kenny Porter? I'll talk to Kenny, so I'm gonna see, can I link up with him and see what's the next move for him and Sean, and try to possibly pry some information out of him on what happened with the Terrence Crawford fight, or why they decided to go another direction, whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna try to get some information out of them. But now, with that being said, let me talk about a couple of things that went on within the past few days. Okay, it appears that once again it looked like Canelo is at a stalemate with the zone over money, over possible opponents, and I predicted this, and I think it's gonna happen. I do not think that Canelo is going to fulfill that 11 fight, $300+ million deal. I think it's gonna be one of them situations where I think they both eventually gonna mutually agree to part ways, because they're at odds about money, opponents, so at the end of the day, I think this is going to be one of those ugly breakups. I don't think Canelo is pleased with the zone, and I don't think the zone is pleased with Canelo, because I think they now believe that they gave Canelo too much money. And like I said before, I wasn't hating on Canelo, but I was just telling the truth. Canelo ain't the star that everybody thought he was. I knew he wasn't. What's going on? I said that from the gate. Yeah, salute. I said that from the gate. And see, here's the thing. People have this notion when you criticize people. Yeah. People have this thing where when you criticize people, you hating on them, you don't like him because he's this and he's that. And like I say, these are the same people, like I said, they love any video where I bash or rip a black fighter, or they don't say nothing at all. But like I said, they listen to my channel. As soon as I say something about a fighter that ain't black, then here they come with that, oh, you need to quit that. Shut the fuck up. Nobody trying to hear that shit. You better go take that somewhere else. But like I said, Canelo did this to himself. Did Canelo really thought he was gonna get to cherry pick and cruise his way through 11 fights and $300+ million? Because at the end of the day, I know they saying that they send certain guys contracts or whatever, but I don't believe that Canelo is really trying to fight the best guys out there. And I said on the flip side, a lot of these dudes are going to be hesitant to get in the ring with Canelo, because like I said, when you fight Canelo, you already at a disadvantage. You fighting Canelo plus the promotional company. When you fight Canelo, when you sign to fight Canelo, you pretty much selling your O, or you selling a W to Canelo. Because Canelo is he gonna weight drain you. He gonna weight drain you. He gonna, I mean everything. He gonna put all kind of clause in the contract and shit. It's just gonna be, there's just too many complications that come with fighting Canelo. And like I said before, I don't blame people for wanting to get in the ring with him, not wanting to get in the ring with him, because it's like, good grief. Like, he handicaps the hell out of you. I mean, you just get, and like I said, when you fight Canelo, once again, when the bell rings, you are already down four rounds. So why would you want to, like, for real, put yourself through that? When you know if you fight Canelo, it's you pretty much, unless you knock Canelo out, you not going to win the fight. And Canelo fans can get mad all they want, but this is absolute truth. It's too much politics behind fighting Canelo. He's a good fighter, but at the end of the day, he's a protected fighter. Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, he's a protected fighter. And people got to come to grips with that. And it's funny, people say, well, what about so-and-so? We talking about Canelo. I told you, you ain't doing the boomerang theory. You ain't throwing nothing back at me. We talking about Canelo. Like I said before, I understand guys like Caleb Plant because I don't think Canelo is unbeatable. Okay? Because, truth be told, if you watch that Sergey Kovalev fight, if Sergey Kovalev would have been allowed to fight, he probably would have knocked Canelo out. Because I saw a glimpse in that fight where if Sergey Kovalev would have been allowed to fight, he would have stopped Canelo. Canelo couldn't even get past Sergey Kovalev's jab. And then Sergey Kovalev landed a punch that froze Canelo. He landed a right that froze Canelo. And that was a sign right there. Canelo can be hurt. That's why I know Artur Beterbiev would kick Canelo's teeth in. And that's why Canelo gave up that belt, because he didn't want none of that Artur Beterbiev smoke. Artur Beterbiev would have sent Canelo to the hospital. Now, they paid Sergey Kovalev whatever extra money they paid him to throw the fight. I'm gonna tell you something else. I watched that Canelo and Cotto fight. You know, without the biased broadcasting of HBO, that fight was close. That fight was close. Because Miguel Cotto won the first 4 rounds against Canelo. Then Canelo picked up a little bit of steam, and it looked like to me, if you wanted to, you could say Canelo won maybe 7 rounds to 5. Some people say they thought Cotto did enough to win or at least get a draw. It was everybody was talking about, yeah, Canelo, he gonna destroy Cotto. Cotto was outboxing Canelo for the first 4 rounds. Then Canelo, picked it up, and then he won a decision. Nah, I remember boxing. Oh, John, you got a wrench, right? John, you got a wrench, right? Oh, yeah, John got a wrench. All right, I'm making sure. Yeah, my boy, Black Reality TV. So, yeah. Nah, I'm going to stay grinding. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to talk about a lot of shit. I'm going to talk about this Gary Russell and Bud thing, too. And how we must... Yeah, that's what I keep saying. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me. Who have Canelo like really beat the hell out of. That was a top fighter. Because like I said, if you watch the Sergey Kovalev fight, had Sergey Kovalev been allowed to fight, he would have stopped Canelo. Canelo's chin ain't what everybody make it out to be. We all saw the damn fight. We already know that the fight was rigged. You had professional boxers saying the damn fight is rigged. So it's funny, people disregard professional boxers when they say, well, that fight looks suspicious. Badu Jack flat out said he thought the fight was fixed. All of a sudden, Canelo throws 4 punches, getting beat. And then the funny part about it was I had Kovalev winning the fight until the stoppage. So everybody trying to. So this is what I don't understand. So we supposed to feel sorry for Canelo? Canelo was the one that took his ass to the zone. He could have signed with Al Heyman. He could have signed with Bob Arum. He chose to go to the zone. And then Canelo, to be honest with you, he knew the zone didn't have a roster of middleweights, super middleweights, and light heavyweights for him to fight. He knew that he knew that he had a good chance of not having to fight all the top tier fighters. So that's why he ran to the zone. Because if he would have went to PBC, they would have made him fight Charlo. They would have made him fight Charlo by now. And then here go the thing. Demetrius Andrade is signed to the zone, and Canelo refuses to fight him. Canelo been ducking Demetrius Andrade since 154. He been ducking the Charlos since 154. Both of them. Everybody keeps saying that Canelo is going to blow through Charlo. I do not see it that way. Because like I said, Charlo is going to be relentless. Now, they saying they sent him a contract. They said he turned it down, whatever the case may be. Well, you know, it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. He could fight Demetrius Andrade, could have been fought the dude. And Canelo say, well, he not a big enough name. So, who the hell is Rocky Fielding? So, who is Caleb Smith? Because truth got to be said about Canelo. Canelo ran to the zone because he knew he could make a lot of money, and he knew that there was a pretty damn good chance that he could avoid high-risk fights. Now, nobody don't want to say this about Canelo, but I'll say it. I think, like I said, he's a real good fighter, but let's not try to make it look like he's out there fighting the best guys out there, because he's not. Keep in mind, he got that same blueprint Oscar had. Oscar used to try to play that role too, like Oscar would be seeking the best fights out there. Oscar De La Hoya flat out ducked a shitload of fighters. He ducked Vernon Forrest. He ducked Winky Wright. He ducked Margarito. He ducked Cotto. He ducked Paul Williams. Ducked Sergio Martinez. I mean, for real, just stop it. Just stop it. Okay? For real, just stop it. Oscar did not fight everybody out there. All those fights were available for Oscar De La Hoya. He didn't take them from 154 to 160. All those fights was available, and he didn't take them. But we know one thing he will take, and that's foreign objects up his you-know-what. He didn't take none of those fights. All those fights were available for him. He even ducked the third fight with Sugar Shane Mosley. And most people thought he won the second fight, and he still didn't want a third fight with Sugar Shane Mosley. So who the hell do you guys... So, and this is the same formula that Canelo is doing. What was the purpose in him fighting dudes like Mayorga? Okay? What was the purpose of him fighting guys like Mayorga for real? Then he lost to Felix Strom. So I'm just saying that's the same thing that Canelo was doing. And then, like I said, he don't want to fight Triple G a third time, but then I understand that because nobody gives a damn about Triple G. Triple G got exposed years ago. He got exposed 3 years ago when he fought Daniel Jacobs. Like I said, everybody saying, oh, Tam, oh, yeah, you was right about Triple G. I said 4 years ago that Triple G was a fraud. I kept looking who was up there for him to fight at middleweight. Like I said, nothing but truck drivers. And like I said, Triple G got praised for fighting truck driver after truck driver, Foot Locker worker after Foot Locker worker, Uber driver after Uber driver. Got praised. And then when people like me call Triple G out for not fighting nobody or taking low-risk fights, oh, you're a racist. You just don't like him because he's not black. You'd hate Triple G. But these the same, now keep in mind, but these the same people that that tell me not to talk about race. But they was calling me a racist. What's up? These the same morons that was calling me, and once again, ain't no damn such thing as no black racist. So just stop it. Like I said, the man never saw, Triple G never saw a Chipotle worker that he didn't like. He never saw a dude that worked at Chipotle that he didn't like for an opponent. This man would go to for real. This man would go to shipping yards looking for opponents and stuff, and got praised for fighting those nobodies. Oh, I'm gonna talk about Devin Haney in a minute. Oh, stay tuned. I'm gonna talk about Devin Haney, and I'm gonna talk about his dad. Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Oh, trust me. Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Matter of fact, I'll talk about that now and then. I'm gonna talk about this Crawford Gary Russell thing and why. Look, I'll fuck with Devin Haney. I'll fuck with Bill, but I saw what he was trying to do on Fred's channel. We gotta be honest. I'm an honest dude, man. That Gamboa fight is fucking trash. It's trash. If I was Devin Haney, I would say never mind. I'd rather Devin Haney just fight another tune-up fight than fight Gamboa. Gamboa does nothing for him. Well, you guys won't listen, man. You guys won't listen. Y'all keep protecting that dude. Who won't do no interviews. But y'all, some of you, I ain't gonna say y'all. It's funny how people cry and trip off certain fighters not giving them interviews, but the main one who run the PBC refuses to talk to black media. But everybody sit up here praising this dude, and I don't get that. Like he too good to talk to the media. But you can say what you want to say about Bob Arum. He'll give you a damn interview. That's for sure. Say what you want to say about Bob Arum. He'll give you an interview. Now, Oscar De La Hoya, nope. He won't. Like I said, I mean, let's just face the fact. Gamboa already been knocked out. He got knocked out in his last fight. So if Devin Haney go in there and stop him, what's that gonna prove? All they gonna say is, and I'm doing this out of love, not because I'm trying to rip them to shreds. And I'm glad during Fred's live stream with Bill Haney, a lot of the fans just said, hey, we don't like that fight. As fans, we got to tell the truth. We got to stop like kissing these dudes' asses and be like, we want certain fights. You missing the point, bro. Listen, just listen. I'm not ripping Devin Haney. I'm ripping that fight. Eddie Hearn know damn well Nobody don't care about no Gamboa. Gamboa is a 40-year-old man. He lost his last fight. He got stopped. What is that going to do for Devin Haney? Because at the end of the day, when Devin Haney's hand is more than likely raised, people really going to be like, so what? If I was him, I might would look into Pedraza. Fortuna, I understand why nobody don't want to fight Fortuna. Because like I said, Fortuna will stink up the joint. It's a rotten ass fight. Nobody don't want to see. And I don't blame him for not wanting to fight Fortuna. Nobody wants to see that damn fight. Nobody want to see Javier Fortuna tugging and wrestling and doing all that crazy stuff he be doing. Nobody want to see that damn fight. Nobody want to see Javier Fortuna. And I'm glad that the fans said, nah, we really don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see that fight. And see, y'all gotta understand something. Bill is a town dude like me. See, Bill was like doing that smooth talk. And it sounded good. It sounded good. Well, from what I heard, the fight got denied. Who was the last credible opponent that Gamboa beat? What happened with Gamboa's last fight? Didn't he get knocked out by Tank in the 12th round? So what does that do for Devin Haney if Devin Haney goes in there and he knocks out Gamboa? As soon as the fight over, people gonna be like, so what? I'd rather him fight Lenorius. As far as Javier Fortuna go, who cares? Or just take another tune-up fight and wait for the winner. And wait for the winner of Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. It's a meaningless fight, and nobody don't care about that fight. I ain't got nothing against Devin Haney. I got love for him, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I'm gonna like a fight like that because it's a. Okay, so when did Gamboa fight Terrence Crawford? Like what, about 3 or 4 years ago? How old is Gamboa now? And as far as Tank go, Tank is kind of suspect. Tank is kind of suspect because at the end of the day, and I don't mean on no sexuality shit, because what I'm saying is they could make the Devin Haney fight. I know Devin Haney is being ducked. But what I'm saying is Gamboa does nothing. He didn't do nothing for, like, who wanted to see, let's get to the thick of things. Who really wanted to see Tank versus Gamboa? I didn't give a damn about that fight. I didn't give a damn about that fight. What? Go find a video where I was saying I'm jumping up and down. I can't wait to see Tank versus Gamboa. Go find one. Go find that video. I didn't give a damn about Tank fighting Gamboa because I knew what it was. You only could use a dude's name for so long. Now it's getting to the point to where Gamboa is officially a journeyman. Now it goes from a credible name to a cherry pick. And now he's gatekeeper cherry pick status. You got to understand, Gamboa is not like 31. He's not like what Zab Zuda was when he fought Floyd Mayweather. Zab Zuda was still in his late 20s when he fought Floyd Mayweather. when he came off that loss. So that's a little bit different. Gamboa is 40 years old. And you can't get around that. He is 40. Might be older than that. Saying a fight like this is not going to do nothing for Devin Haney. Because now it comes across as a cherry pick. And then you already know Tank gonna say you fighting one of my leftovers. How? Well, first of all, Pedraza is younger. You talking about an old man. He's not Pacquiao. He don't have no belt. He got a lot of wear and tear on him. And he don't have the backing that Pacquiao has. Which, by the way, it's amazing. Pacquiao didn't only been with the PBC officially like a year. And he getting more, like Jadakiss say, you know how dead rappers get better promotion? Well, I mean, he ain't dead, but anybody but the brother get better promotion at PBC. And like I said, Canelo would have got better promotion. I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Gamboa is old as fuck. He 40 years old. He got a lot of wear and tear on him. He long in the tooth. He's not Manny Pacquiao. And then Manny Pacquiao, you can make an argument that Manny Pacquiao lost to Keith Thurman. But once again, it come to name value. And you know it, and H, I can counter everything you come with. And you know what they're going to say? Oh, well, he was already dead. I'm trying to tell you what they're going to do to Devin Haney. I'm saying it's best for them to go another direction. Get out of that fight. Because they're going to tear you to shreds when you blow through Gamboa. They're going to tear you to shreds. They're going to say, oh, you fought a left. I guarantee you. It's not going to be me. It's going to be these stupid fans. It's going to be these stupid fans that's going to say he's somebody's leftover, which, by the way, there ain't no such thing as no leftover. There's no such thing as a leftover. That don't even make any kind of sense. When somebody say, oh, you a leftover. I know people love to quote Floyd, but Floyd's for a dude that ain't supposed to be so bright. People so try to mimic Floyd. That's for damn sure. What I'm saying is, with Devin Haney, go another direction. He did get credit for stopping Pedraza. They gave Lomachenko the same praise for beating Pedraza. And Tank did way better against Pedraza than Lomachenko did. I would love to see Tank versus Gary Russell Jr., but we all know that ain't gonna happen. That's not fashionable. I would love to see Gary Russell Jr. versus Devin Haney. But it don't seem like it's gonna happen. Like I said, I don't know what the hell is going on behind the scenes with Gary Russell Jr., but at the end of the day, I'll talk to Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. is the coolest dude you would ever meet. His father, I love speaking to his father. It was an honor to speak to his father. But man, what's going on with him is a travesty. It's a travesty. And for the people that's hollering about power to the people, hollering all that super power to the people, fist up in the air, well, who run the PBC? Black people? So he getting screwed over by somebody that look like him. I'm just the dude that's gonna tell the truth. Yeah, well, here's the thing about Tank. I don't think Tank is. I don't think Tank is the monster punch. Like I keep trying to tell people, people got to stop confusing. People got to stop calling some of these fighters monster punchers. Virgil Ortiz ain't no monster puncher. He couldn't even get Sammy Vargas. I mean, excuse me, not Sammy Vargas. He couldn't even get Vargas out of there. He couldn't even get Vargas out of there. I mean, he beat him down, but he couldn't even get him up out of there. Virgil Ortiz ain't no monster puncher. And then they try to fool you by saying, oh, out of 15 fights, he got 15 knockouts. Well, who has he fought? Who has he fought? That's what I'm saying. Who has he fought? Now, that's funny, right? Now, I want y'all to see the double standard. I want y'all to see the double standard. So after 15 fights, Virgil Ortiz is the future, right, of boxing. He is superstar. This is what people want to see. This is what people, right? Now, how many times have you heard this? Okay, so he got 15 knockouts in 15 fights, right? And you hearing Oscar De La Hoya, see, this is what the fans want to see. The fans want to see knockouts. They want to see knockouts. They want to see, this is what the fans want. They want to see, oh, it depends on who delivering the knockouts, right? But these is the same people that'll bitch, whine, and moan about Deontay Wilder. Oh, Deontay Wilder ain't fought nobody. But then they say Tyson Fury and Lomachenko are master boxers. You see how these people, how I always expose these clowns? Now see how they didn't switch the narrative? Who is Virgil Ortiz fought? Nobody. He ain't fought nobody. But all of a sudden these boxing fans, yeah, Virgil Ortiz is the real deal. All these Mexicans all on his nutsack. But these the same ones that'll say Deontay Wilder ain't fought nobody. I love doing this to them. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Gary Russell Jr. got a pretty damn good chin. I don't know if he'll get knocked out, but I do think Devin Haney will outbox him. But let me talk about Gary Russell Jr. So let me talk about this Bud Crawford thing. Let me talk about this Bud Crawford thing. Now, we all know the day before yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, that Gary Russell Jr. did an interview with Fred, Barbershop Conversation, and he was talking about an incident that happened with him and Terrence Crawford. He said that he broke Bud's jaw. He said that he cracked him. He said he broke his jaw. Bud had to go to the hospital. So, due to the fact that there are some people that just don't like Terrence Crawford, I don't feel like going into that. They happy to hear anything negative that happened with him. Now, I want to tell people, and I'm finna pump your brakes. I'm finna stop you dead in your tracks. Do not be foolish enough. I don't like to use that word stupid, but please do not make no video. Please don't come on this outlet and talking about you want to see Gary Russell Jr. fight Bud Crawford. Let me tell you something. This is real talk. I love Gary Russell Jr. I mess with Gary Russell Jr. tough, but that fight is a disaster. And when I say Bud would and he should get ripped to pieces if he would even remotely consider a fight like that. Gary Russell Jr. don't have a chance in hell with Bud, and he don't have a chance in hell. So I don't even want nobody to even remotely suggest that fight should happen. I don't remotely want to hear nobody be foolish enough to say, yeah, that'll be a good fight. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. 126, 147. You basically talked about Gary Russell Jr. jumping up 4 weight class. Gary Russell Jr., as you guys know, I interviewed him. Gary Russell Jr. is very small. I've stood next to Bud. Bud is like about 5'9". Bud is about 5'9", 5'8" and a half. Cause I'm 5'11". When I say that fight would be, when I say that fight gonna end disastrous, it's gonna end disastrous. Y'all would call for Bud's. When I say, man, when I say that fight would be so bad, when I say they'd try to run Bud out of boxing, Bud should be ashamed of himself. I wouldn't even respond to that. Bud should be ashamed of himself if he would even remotely entertain the thought of fighting Gary Russell Jr. And I gotta call it how I see it. I don't give a damn if Bud's camp make videos saying, oh, he don't know shit about boxing. Whatever, man. Whatever. I wouldn't even entertain, and Bud should get ran out of boxing if he ever considered that. Yeah, he is. Yeah, man. Yeah, okay, well, H, let me ask you a question. I know you gonna talk about this on your podcast. I'm off today, so I am gonna make an appearance. If you go sick, you go at it's 2 hours ahead of time, Memphis. So if you go at 6, that'll be 4 my time. So I'm gonna make an appearance. I know you gonna talk about that on your live stream. That would be disastrous. That, when I say that would be disastrous, yeah, I'll make an appearance. Please talk about that. Please warn Gary Russell Jr. Don't do it. Stop it. And I'm asking the fans, don't be foolish. Don't call for no fight like that. That'll be Gary Russell Jr.'s last fight. And Terrence Crawford would get ran out of boxing. When I say that would hurt Bud's career so bad, and I'm just saying it, I'm just being a real dude. I don't even want to remotely hear nobody trying to push for a fight like that. Gary Russell Jr. don't have a chance in hell against Bud in a fight. Don't do it. Don't be foolish. And I'm asking the fans, don't be foolish. Don't push for that fight, because you will look stupid in that. And like I said, when I say that fight would be disastrous for Gary Russell Jr., that would be disastrous. If Al Haymon made that fight, if Al Haymon even remotely entertained the thought, when I say I would go bat shit, when I say I would go ape shit if Al Haymon tried to make that fight. If Al Haymon, when I say I would petition to get that fight stopped, I would do everything in my power to make sure that fight wouldn't happen. And you could book it. Yeah, pretty much. It would be like, yeah, Shaq trying to fight Gary Coleman. I would, when I say, I'm giving y'all my word. If Al Haymon made that fight, when I say I would unleash something on Al Haymon, man. So Al Haymon better not try to make that fight. And that would tell you all you need to know about Al Haymon. If all of a sudden he tried to make that fight, that would show you that he trying to get Gary Russell Jr. like seriously hurt. Like I said, it sounded good. I know he was popping his collar when he was talking about what happened between him and Bud. I bet you he ain't gonna break Bud's jaw now. I don't know when that happened, but I bet you he ain't gonna break Bud's jaw now. Hey, anybody want to bet their life savings on that fight? When I say I would rip Bud to shreds, I would rip Al Haymon to shreds. And when I say I would get a petition to get that I mean, who would and who in the hell would sanction a fight? You would have to ask yourself, whoever would even remotely entertain the thought of that fight being sanctioned should be. I'm serious. It ain't gonna happen. So I'm asking everybody, don't do it. Tell Gary Russell Jr. to stop it. Not gonna happen. Nobody wants to see that fight. It's not even feasible to even think that a fight like that could happen. I mean, we just gotta tell the truth. That's just real talk. We gotta tell the truth. So, all right, you guys. And speaking of Manny Pacquiao, I'm gonna move on to this, and we're gonna spend about 10 minutes talking about this. Okay, so it appears that Fox got some stuff lined up. Y'all already know Danny Garcia, Errol Spence will be announced soon. It appears that fight is pretty much finalized. But I want to talk about. I'll talk about that later on today. Now it looked like Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao is in serious negotiations for pay-per-view Fox. It appears Mikey Garcia is going back to the PBC, but we already knew he had a one-fight deal with DAZN. If there was a fight out there for Mikey Garcia, that DAZN could match the money. DAZN had first, so they say, but they said this was really just a one-fight deal. So now Mikey Garcia is going back to the PBC. And I gotta tell you guys, this is not gonna be pretty. This is not gonna be pretty for Mikey Garcia. This just gonna be another one-sided ass whooping for Mikey Garcia. I think he will survive all 12 rounds, but he will eventually get dropped in that fight. He don't have the boxing skills that Mikey can box, but he ain't no Juan Manuel Marquez. Man, what the fuck is you talking about, bro? Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, if that dude come back, clap his ass. Anyway, as I was saying, brothers, this is gonna be bad for Mikey Garcia. He ain't Juan Manuel Marquez. I just think this is gonna be another one-sided ass whooping for Mikey Garcia, and then this is gonna be Mikey Garcia losing 2 of his last 3 fights. I just got a feeling this is gonna end bad for him. He is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao. That style right there. Y'all know that fight is gonna end bad. It's just gonna be Mikey Garcia gonna get pieced up, and it's just gonna be another 12-round decision for Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, to me, he just can't knock anybody out anymore. He just can't. I mean, Adrian Broner wasn't even lumped up in that fight. And he wasn't even really landing all of the punches they were saying he was landing. He was just like throwing a bunch of punches. He caught Adrian Broner a couple of times, but he didn't Adrian Broner didn't even have a scratch on his face. But Mikey Garcia, this is not gonna be pretty. Mikey Garcia gonna get lumped up. Like y'all said, he don't have a work rate, he don't have a foot speed, he don't have a hand speed, and he don't have the power to keep Manny Pacquiao off of him. Now, here's the thing about Manny Pacquiao. After he demolishes Mikey Garcia, he gonna have to fight. He gonna have to fight either Errol Spence or he gonna have to fight Crawford, or he need to give up the belt. He need to do one or the other. If Crawford or Spence isn't his next opponent after Mikey Garcia, once again, this gonna tell you what you need to know about Manny Pacquiao. Mikey Garcia is a flat out cherry pick. I'm talking about, this is like how y'all walk into y'all local grocery store, whatever y'all prospective grocery store is, whether it's Piggly Wiggly or Safeway or Albertsons or Lucky's or whatever, or Winco. You know how you walk into the fruit section and you see some cherries, and you know how some people with their nasty asses open the bag up and eat out the bag. That's exactly what Manny Pacquiao doing. He that dude that go into the grocery store and open up the bag of grapes or cherries, and then he started eating the cherries out the bag, because that's exactly what he doing with Mikey Garcia. This is a flat out cherry pick, and all of y'all know it. Well, Mikey Garcia is going to be the Mexican version of Adrian Broner. He going to be the Mexican version of Adrian Broner. That's just real talk. Like I said, y'all after that fight over, y'all just gonna be like, you really gonna criticize Manny Pacquiao after this, because this is, like I said, this is some straight cherry picking. But for real, let Floyd had picked a fight like this. But this is the same people that was pissed off about Errol Spence taking this fight, but now this is a great fight. Now watch these Manny Pacquiao fans say, oh, this is a great fight for Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, it's a great fight, because we know this is a fight he gonna win. This is a fight that we know where the opponent has no chance of winning this fight. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not paying for that shit. I'm going to crack streams to watch that fight. I don't know if the bar's gonna be open by then, or the movie theaters, but I ain't paying for that, because I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a one-sided ass whooping via Manny Pacquiao. I want some. Nobody in this chat room do it for real. I'm gonna give everybody 1 minute to type yes or no. Do anybody that's listening to this stream believe Manny Pacquiao is gonna lose to Mikey Garcia? I'm gonna give everybody a chance to type in their answer. Do anybody believe Mikey Garcia is gonna beat Manny Pacquiao? So go ahead. I'm gonna give y'all the floor for the next 2 minutes. Type yes or no. Do anybody believe that Mikey Garcia is going to beat Manny Pacquiao? Yeah, like I said, this fight is going. It's just certain fights that you not gonna tune into. So this, okay. So what the number's gonna be? It ain't no type of talk that it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that Mikey Garcia can say in a press conference that's gonna get you to believe that he could beat Manny Pacquiao. It ain't nothing he gonna say. None of this. Oh, I'ma shock the world and all this. Man, ain't nobody for real. And like I said, to be honest with you, do anybody really want to see this fight? Do anybody really want to see this fight? Because like I said, we know the outcome of this fight. It's one of life's greatest mysteries. Just like I said a long time ago, I don't understand why Titanic, for a lengthy amount of time, was like the highest grossing movie of all time, when we already knew what the movie was about. We already knew the outcome, but for some reason, people kept taking their asses to go see that movie. But in this case, we know the outcome of Mikey Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao. We know the outcome. We know how it's going to end. This is a worthless, meaningless pay-per-view fight. And I know they ain't going to try to charge us $85 for this crap. I know they not going to try to. I know they ain't going to try to charge us no $79.99, no $85 to see this crap. This is damn. Hey, to be honest with you, this is damn near a fixed fight. This is damn near a fixed fight. I'm keeping it 100. This is damn near a fixed fight. Because one, everybody with common sense know the outcome. We all know the outcome. We all know what's going to happen. Mikey Garcia is not really a welterweight. I don't know. I wouldn't pay for neither one. I wouldn't pay for neither one of these fights. I'm not paying for no Tank versus no Leo Santa Cruz. Like I said, another fight that don't nobody care about. Nobody cared about this fight when it was first announced earlier this year. Nobody don't care about that fight. That number, I mean, when I say the number of people that's going to buy this fight going to be disastrous. When I say Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz, it's going to have disastrous pay-per-view numbers. It's going to be disastrous. I know I shouldn't be saying this. Why shouldn't I be saying this? It's the damn truth. And Manny Pacquiao versus Mikey Garcia ain't gonna do that good neither. But you know what's gonna happen? Because I'm gonna tell the truth. It's gonna do okay numbers. You know why? Because it's gonna be some delusional Mexicans that's gonna buy this fight because they're gonna have this sense of hope. They're gonna have this false pretense that Mikey Garcia gonna have a chance to win that fight. So the Pacquiao Mikey Garcia numbers will be better than Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz. But there gonna be some Mexicans that's gonna have this false sense of hope that this fight is gonna be competitive and that Mikey Garcia may possibly win this fight. Well, you could say you could save that shit When this fight is announced, I'm rarely gonna talk about this fight. I'm gonna rip it to shreds, just like I'm gonna rip Gary Russ. I mean, excuse me, that I'm gonna rip it to shreds, just like I'm gonna rip Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz. That's a good question. Mikey go get paid handsomely. Well, you need to ask. Well, you need to ask Big Al. Once again, Mikey Garcia getting pushed to the front over everybody else. That's what I'm saying. Mikey Garcia is finna get. This is what I'm talking about. Mikey Garcia probably gonna get paid $10 million to fight Manny Pacquiao, at least. Y'all need to ask, like I said, ask, you know what I'm saying? Ask Big Al. Oh yeah, you can't ask him, because he don't talk to black media. But somebody need to ask that question. Once again, why is Mikey Garcia getting a title shot? And once again, why is Mikey Garcia gonna get a big paycheck? I want somebody to explain that to me. Why is it that all the PBC fighters that ain't black get all the love? Manny Pacquiao ain't been forced to fight Errol Spence. Mikey Garcia about to get a big paycheck versus Manny Pacquiao. But not none of the black PBC fighters. No Sean Porter, no Danny Garcia, no Errol Spence. So I'm just asking. Why is all the non-black fighters getting all the breaks? I appreciate that, Barry Business. I told you this ain't the Al Heyman nut hugging network. Cause I'm just telling the truth. I'm not praising no nigga that don't do right by his so-called own people. Why won't nobody ask these questions? Why am I the only one that asks these questions? I told you it ain't no filter to me. I told you I don't follow the script. When is somebody gonna ask that damn question? Mikey Garcia, a non-black, about to get another big payday versus Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao only been a PBC fighter less than 2 years, but all of a sudden he getting to pick cherry pick fights. But they won't make him fight Errol Spence. Won't make him fight Sean Porter. Won't make him fight Danny Garcia. But he gonna fight Mikey Garcia. Well, there you go. There you go. Y'all seeing this with your own eyes. Like I keep saying. I'm done with that. I'm done with that Al Heyman nut hugging stuff and that all praise to Al Heyman, because like I said, I don't like how he be moving. And I'm not finna sugarcoat it. I've been saying this for the longest. If Manny Pacquiao would have fight guys like Mikey Garcia, give up that damn belt. Somebody look it up. Who is the number one contender for Manny Pacquiao's? Because I can't end this stream and then go look. You know, I would have to end this stream and go look and come back on. Who is the number one contender for the WBA title? Manny Pacquiao is the super champion. And I forgot who's the regular champion, because actually Manny Pacquiao is the super champion. And I know Mikey Garcia ain't the number one contender. If he is, he shouldn't be. Because he's only had 2 fights at welterweight. And he lost his debut at welterweight. He better not be the number one contender. Okay, Ugas. There you okay. Yeah, so well, you guys have your answer. You guys have your answer. Cause like I said, a lot of these channels they don't want to talk about this stuff. Cause like I told you. Once again, so can somebody how is how is Mikey Garcia the number 3 contender? This is why a lot of people see what be going on in boxing. Boxing is all about favoritism. Mikey Garcia is 1-1 as a welterweight. How is he the number 3? This is what I'm saying. Now we already know why he ain't gonna fight Ugas. We already know Ugas ain't really that popular of a guy. So Jesse Vargas elevates you to no. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You would think that other champions would be like the number 1 contender. Yeah, they don't. The way they and see that's what I'm saying. The way they do these rankings and see that's the funny part. Danny Garcia is the number 1 contender for Bud's WBO title, which that make a lot more sense than Mikey Garcia, and that's what I'm saying. When was Jesse Vargas' last relevant win? There you go. Like I said, this ranking shit, a lot of times it be about it. Like I said, it's a damn popularity contest. But once again, Mikey Garcia is getting a title shot that he don't deserve. But it's a cherry pick. Well, we know it's a cherry pick. People don't like I told you, I'm honest with y'all. I'm honest with y'all. Listen, I'll tell the truth. I told you, I'm not on nobody's payroll. I'm not on nobody's damn payroll. Okay? I'm telling y'all the truth. You know, I'm telling y'all the truth because y'all deserve to hear the truth. One in one as a welterweight. Okay? But at the end of the day, this just goes to show you so much for that black power shit with Al Heyman. The truth is out there like you know what I'm saying, like the X-File. If y'all continue to believe this shit about Al Heyman, it's this black power to the people. Let me ask y'all something. This is real talk. If Al Heyman is so black, why didn't Al Heyman say a damn word about George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Doug Lewis? Ain't said nothing. Ain't publicly said nothing. There you have it. This your boy Town Biz. Thank y'all for listening. I'm out.